This is supposed to be an angelical being that appeared in a photo of a little girl that was going through chemotherapy. And that was the second time that she took chemotherapy for leukemia. And after this apparition, the little girl's mother took the picture. And when they developed it, they saw this thing behind the little girl running around with Roman candles. I guess it was in Christmas. Now, let's get a look at this, what this is. Well, this being don't appear to look like any kind of human form. This is strange, really strange. And he's not that tall either. I would say 5'6" feet, 6'2", give or take, because the girl is not that tall either. The white deal, that's the little girl right there. So when we brighten up the image, I took the color off to be able to see what can I see without using any type of Photoshop. This is a strange, really strange looking thing. I don't know if it's a being or it is when I enhance the image in a different way, it looks like there is an entity above that, and that is some sort of machine, or it don't look to me like it's a person, a bipedal, because you don't see the arms. You don't see, there's something strange about that, whatever this is. See, look at that. Then when you brighten up and off, you see that there is another something here. So I just don't think that is really an entity. I couldn't say for sure, but it looked to me like there's some kind of a pillar or some kind of thing, and whatever it is above that, behind, like it's working on the girl. Because after this operation, the treatment was successful and she was clear of cancer. So they do come for special people. Something is special about these humans. Very special for this thing. Even Enki and Leo, the two Anunnaki that came and brought all that bad shit to us, they say that before the flood, they gave it a name. I can't remember exactly what the name that they gave the entity, but they say that it came from a higher up in their dream, in Enki's dream, right before the flood, and he left in a written instruction how to build the ark. He said to save Noah, or Siusudra. That's the Anunnaki name they gave to Noah, or the Sumerian name, Siusudra. Siusudra was the son of Enki with a human woman. It's described in the Sumerian tablets that when the baby opened the eyes, he illuminated the room. Just imagine how freaked out their parents were when they saw a baby and the father said, that is not my baby, that is from the gods. So people fear Noah and revere him because he was, they knew that he was something, half something else. And Enlil was furious after the flood. He found out that they survived Siusudra or Noah. He was pissed off that he survived because he wanted to erase the entire human race, because he saw that they were all corrupted and contaminated, but it was their own fault. And after that, later on, years and many, many, many years, remember, 1 year in Nibiru is 3,670 years on Earth. So by the time one of them is 20 years old, imagine, multiply 3,600 years for every year. So the dude will be like 200,000 years old at the age of 20. You just think about that. That is really bizarre. And the system we're living on right now, it was designed by them, by the Anunnaki themselves. They left some kings that were half Anunnaki. Plus, they have invited other races to come here to see their jewel, this planet. But they were so feisty that most of the other races left, because they were in a constant fight over stupid shit. They were very arrogant and assholes. Well, it's written there that in one feast they sacrificed 500,000 sheep. That is bizarre. Imagine all that blood. Oh my God. Anyway, this entity appeared to them separately in 2 different occasions. The second time was when Enlil's sons got into a major battle against Enki's sons, Marduk. Marduk later on moved to all because they wanted to control the area of Iraq and Africa, because that's where the shit was around. Pakistan and apparently India. There's so many stories. I mean, human history goes back so freaking far. We have no clue. And those mud fossils tells that there was another race before us that were really giant, the size of mountains. That dude from mud fossils and Wise Up, they're doing an age of disclosure. Oh boy, the stuff they show there is just hard to deny, difficult to deny, because it's just, it matches perfectly with the anatomy of a living biological entity. And this, whoever they were petrified. Whatever weapon was used on them, it just petrified them in place, and that's where we're living on top of them now. What we think are rocks and all that stuff is their remains. They were petrified. whoa, that's a heck of a weapon. But think about it, if you are you control electromagnetism, you can turn anything into anything. And I mean anything. You can do things that are beyond what we think is possible. Way beyond. Coming back to this thing, this is like I said, this is some kind of something. Whatever it came specifically for that little girl and help her. So, she must be a very special person. This is that came up on the news, and this is from a documentary called Angels and Demons. That had nothing to do with a movie made by Dick Wee, Hank, whatever. Tom Hanks. Well, this is that documentary, and it showed many examples of these apparitions, things that were like, wow. People survived horrific things that no normally would be possible, but apparently this entity intervened for these people. Well, like I say, this planet, for some reason, we are here. It's hard to live. It's painful to live here. Some reason we come here to recycle our souls, or I don't know, or whatever it is. We have to think about all the variables. We just don't. We're so selfish and so into ourselves that we don't consider anything else. We don't look around. We don't nothing. Just look at this thing in the picture. This, whatever this is, it's like it's what's projecting that entity there. It's some kind of smoky looking something that is. You see that? It branches from behind the woods, right here. Look, it goes like that, and this is what this being that's supposed to be a being. I don't know exactly if it is. The picture is no. This is not an excellent picture. Somebody with Photoshop knowledge, like the dudes from Frontier, the Michael guy, he would be able to get more information out of that image. I'll give him the original, not the original, but the image that was posted on the paper. You can find it. All these images are archived somewhere. It was on the news, on the front page of the internet, whatever, somewhere there, about miracles and whatever. But you can see behind that thing, there is some kind of a structure. You can see it in the background, right there. Look. It's very geometrical. Like I said, we are in some kind of environment that is being masked with some powerful holography, very powerful. And we just cannot see what's right there behind that. Is vibrating in another frequency that we just cannot see it. Only in pictures, and I mean, and he just come in and on, in and off. He just doesn't. It's difficult, and this whole entire research is really difficult, and specifically when it comes to the spiritual and the dimension